In this class, we will discuss about the full wave rectifier. Till now, we have discussed about the half wave rectifier. Now, we will discuss about the full wave rectifier. But in a very brief, we will discuss about this full wave rectifier in detail in upcoming sessions. So, basically, the full wave rectifier, that means it is going to rectify whatever the input waveform that you are giving to a complete output waveform. So, in the half wave rectifier, only half of the wave is getting rectified, other half is not getting rectified. In the full wave, we are going to see it is going to rectify the complete full wave. So, now what we do is, let us take a sinusoidal source where I am giving it to a transformer. So, first let us go with a transformer, and this transformer is having a core. These lines represents the core, and it is having a split winding of dot as something like this. So, it is having a diode in this here and having a diode also here, and these two are connected, but in between them I am connecting some sort of load here. So, now this is my source voltage. So, this is my transformer. So, this is says transformer primary, the transformer secondary side 1, transformer secondary side 2. So, this is a load. So, this is my voltage drop. Now, let us see how this operation takes place. You know that this sinusoidal representation will be something like this. You will be noting down the sinusoidal waveform. So, where this axis, the time is represented in seconds, this axis voltage Vs. So, this one is represented as Vs is equal to Vm sin of omega t. Now, let us see how the output voltage or output current looks like. Now, represented that is output voltage. When a positive waveform is coming into picture, assuming the diode drop is 0, so this will be in forward bias condition and currents will flow in this direction. So, direction of the current is in this direction. So, the current will be flowing in the same direction as the voltage waveform is looking like. So, the current waveform is the same direction till this pi. Now, when the waveform is negative, this will become positive. So, comparatively, the current, this diode, say this is the diode D1 is in this condition. Now, the diode D2 is in on. So, the current and the voltage direction remains the same. Current and voltage directions remains the same. So, that is how you can see what is actually happening is the waveform of the positive side is rectifying positive, and the negative side of waveform is also coming into the positive side. This is the beauty of this. So, earlier what was happening, we were not taking the negative side of the waveform. So, in this one, the negative side of the waveform is also coming into positive. So, that means it is happening, full wave is getting rectified and full wave is transforming into rectified portion. So, this type of is called full wave rectifier. Now, if you observe, what is the voltage drop across, say, diode D1? So, I mean, what is the voltage that will be seen by the diode D1? Now, if you see, I mean, say, let me take the voltage seen by diode D1. When it is in the positive half cycle, yes, perfect, there is no issue. The diode D1 is perfectly reading as a 0. When in the negative half cycle, so there is already a negative voltage, but for this negative voltage again this positive voltage is coming into picture. That means two voltages are seen in the reverse direction. So, this will become minus 2 times of peak voltage. So the important drawback of this type of rectifier is the rating of the diode should be twice the rating of the voltage. So if you take 220 volts supply, so the rating of the diode should be 440 volts. I'm just telling the peak. Okay, so that's why the midpoint rectifier is always a point of discussion, like why should we go with the midpoint rectifier. Midpoint rectifier is easy, it has only two devices, but the thing is like it will not be that much easy to see. Okay, now let us see the average voltage and average current across this one. So the average voltage, you can simply write that the output voltage V naught is equal to, so here this cycle is going for every pi, so it is repeating for every pi, so the total time period will be pi, 1 by pi integral 0 to pi Vm sin omega t d omega t. So Vm you take outside, Vm by pi integral sin theta is minus cos theta over the limits of 0 to pi. So this is Vm by pi minus cos pi minus cos 0. This will become Vm by pi minus cos pi is minus 1, cos 0 1. So minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, minus 2 into minus plus 2. This will become 2 Vm by pi. Now if you see what is the average value of the current, it is as simple as that. I naught is equal to 2 Vm by pi divided by R. This is that I can say that V naught by R. So now you can go for RMS value of the, you can easily find out the RMS value. So Vrms is equal to, so Vrms square, I'll write 1 by pi integral 0 to pi Vm sin of omega t whole square into d omega t. So since we have already written this, this will become Vm by root 2. Okay, so now IRMS current, so Vrms will become equal to Vm by root 2. IRMS is equal to that Vrms by R. So now the power delivered to the load, if you talk about power delivered to load, that is Vrms into IRMS, or that we can call as the IRMS square into R. So input power is Vs into IRMS. Now if you want to find out the power factor is the power delivered to load, Vrms into IRMS divided by the input volt ampere, Vs into IRMS. It is simply, it's a ratio of Vrms to the Vs. Okay, so approximately if you take all these things, Vs is equal to Vrms, this will become 1 unity power factor. So that is the beauty of this, I mean the complete derivation of this analysis. Perhaps the only drawback that we see in these kind of circuits is having the twice the rating of the diode. So what we do, how can we reduce the rating of the diode? So for this purpose only we go with single, that is a diode bridge rectifier. Okay, instead of midpoint type we'll go with diode bridge rectifier. So what is diode bridge rectifier and how it is look like and why it is calling as a bridge, that you may be already knowing that. However, I'll try to tell you. So you take the diodes like this, and you take one more diodes also like this, and here let us directly give the AC source supply. So AC source supply let us directly give. So let me designate this point as a, let me designate this point as a B, and diode D1, diode D2, diode D3, diode D4, and here whatever the load is coming, that load I am representing as a resistive load for now. This is a resistive load. The output voltage here is V0, and so this resistive load is R, and say the current is, output current is I0. Now what is happening, let us see in terms of a diagrammatic fashion. So here, so let us take the time in seconds, the voltage, let me take this as a source voltage Vs. The source voltage is obviously like this. So the source voltage is Vs is equal to Vm sine of omega t. Now let us talk about the output voltage. Okay, so here, when assuming the diode drop is almost negligible or zero, when the positive voltage is coming into picture, this diode is coming to action and the current will flow through this resistance, and this diode D2 will come into action and it will go back here. So that means it follows the same as the input voltage. So till this point, so the direction is from top to bottom. Okay, now this is this kind of wave. So this is positive and hence this is positive, and it is happening something like this. Now this wave is coming into picture. This is negative waveform. So when the negative waveform is there, obviously this diode will not conduct. So this diode will be out of the picture, and this also diode will be out of the picture. Now what left out? What left out is this diode, and this diode is the left out point. See, observe carefully. So this is the positive terminal here. Now negative terminal is connected. So this negative. So negative is connected here. Compared to negative, this is also negative. Then this will become positive, and hence the diode D3 will starts conducting, and then the current will flow, and then it is going to this point. So that means what? The current and voltage directions are same as previous, but earlier diode D1, D2 were conducting. In this case, diode D3 and D4 are conducting. Now let us observe. If this is the case, so whatever our ultimate aim of rectifying the rectifying the sinusoidal signal here, we are able to rectify the complete signals. And what is the peak inverse voltage of this diode? Let us observe. So let us draw the circuit again. So we want to understand the peak inverse, because that is the reason why we are going for the full bridge, right? So what is the peak inverse of the diode? Now see carefully. This is one diode, this is another diode, and this is one more diode, this is one more diode. Now when the positive voltage seen by this diode, say D1, and say this is D2, the drop across this diode is 0, isn't it? The drop across the diode is 0. Now, so now if I see from here to here, what is the voltage that will see? A negative voltage of this thing. So that means only a negative of Vm will be appeared across these diodes. So when this D1 D2 is in conducting mode, D3 D4 will see a negative voltage of Vm. So from this we can simply say that the peak inverse voltage that seen by these D3 and D4 are only of Vm. So remaining all these average voltage, average current, RMS voltage, RMS current, input power and input power factor, power delivered to load will be remains the same. So and hence we generally go ahead with this full bridge rectifier. Okay, so we will little bit discuss in detail about this full bridge rectifier in upcoming sessions. So for our verification purpose, we will do our simulation part. So now observe the same thing I am taking. This full bridge having a AC voltage source, and I am measuring AC voltage source by connecting the two terminals, and I am having diode 1, diode 2, diode 3, diode 4, and this source supply is connected here and this supply is connected here, and I also wanted to measure what is the peak inverse voltage of the diode. At the same time I want to measure the current that is flowing through this load and as well as the voltage drop across this load. We want to find out. Now for this I have used a mux, and then I am running the circuit. Observe carefully how things are happening. Now let us stop. So this violet line that you are observing is the input voltage, and the violet as well as blue is the output voltage. This yellow is the output current. Now in this violet only you can observe one more line, that is the peak inverse voltage of the diode. So that is how you can see the peak inverse voltage of this diode is looking only the minus Vm. So it is only up to minus 100. So that is, but you cannot see exactly because both are completely coincide with each other. If you want, we can take this waveform as a separate and we can check. So that is how you can check, you can cross check all these whatever we have discussed in theory, we will see in the simulation and we can cross check that. So this code is also posted in the timeline. You can download and you can execute in your system. So this code actually I have developed in MATLAB 2018B version, so you can use the same version.